Hi Muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, today we're gonna be jumping into oompaville's new video, which is called We Need to Talk About Mr. Beast. Now, this came out only last night. I have not watched it yet. You know I do tell you whether I have or have not watched things, but I can only assume this has to do with maybe some of the backlash that oompaville was getting. People were saying that he wasn't the best person to interview Mr. Beast. A lot of people were critiquing that he didn't push back on Mr. Beast a lot. A lot of people were saying that CoffeeZilla should have been the one doing the interview. So there was a lot of conversation that happened from his video. Now, I'm excited to see what he has to say, and I'm excited to see what his kind of angle is of this. So let's jump into the video. By the way, if you're in New York on December 10th, I'm going to be doing a Mucker meetup. We haven't done one of those in so long. No. You do not want to talk about the Mucker meetup in New York City on December 10th in Washington Square Park, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Also, if you are coming to the London show, this is going to be the Muckers headquarters. I went and did a little rehearsal in the venue. It's so exciting. I can't believe the shows are upcoming. If you want to come to the London or Dublin shows and you buy tickets, if you send confirmation, I will be sending you a signed art card. Just email me, DM me, whatever, with proof of your ticket and your your address, and I will mail you out those. That is Dublin on March 10th. That is London on March 9th. And also, I just can't believe that this is going to be Muckers headquarters in London. If you're coming to the London show, this is what it's going to be like. I can't believe it. And also, some of the venues in America are bigger than this one, which is so exciting. So if you want to come to the shows, again, March 9th, London, March 10th, Dublin, February 25th, Dallas, February 23rd, LA, Seattle 21st, Chicago is sold out, and February 18th in Brooklyn. Also, I'm doing Vlogmas. Second channel will be linked down below. Okay, let's get into the video. We need to talk about Mr. Beast. Okay, I'm excited to watch this one. Let's get to it. Uh-oh, not all the comments.
Extra, read all about it.
I mean, there was a lot of people really pissed, I'll be honest.
An undercover agent for Mr. Beast. I was completely bought off and paid for by blood money. My credibility is gone. My pants are full of shit, and I have failed the entire internet as a whole. I apologize. Firstly, to everyone who had very high expectations of me. We're talking about the Mr. Beast situation. The Mr. Beast.
2.5 million views. Wowza! Now, that was a long video. Shout out to everyone that watched the video, and there were a lot of people that then watched me reacting to the video. You fuckers put a lot of time into that interview, and I love you for it.
I got a lot to talk about. It's very interesting. I've waited to address the drama, which is what people have been asking me to do, even in my comments on my videos. I've waited because there's a lot of great videos being made on the situation as a whole that are critical of myself and, you know, basically what happened. And I like watching it. I mean, I don't like watching it like I'm jacked, like it's that type. It's not weird. It's more so just, I'm interested to see what people have to say in regard to this. It's not every day you can have a very controversial interview opportunity thing like this. I mean, it's pretty, I'm just a guy. It's cool. I'm very glad to be a part of this, to be honest. Firstly, I want to go into my weaknesses and sort of addressing the criticism as a whole, just off the bat. People were not happy with the way that I conducted the interview. The interview, by the way, is Mr. Beast came to my house last week, and I asked him a bunch of questions, and then...
Now, here's the thing. Apparently, we were told that he didn't have a lot of time to prep. Maybe he will address that. Maybe people in my comment section were lying, but that was something that I was told. Yes, there were so many parts that Jimmy was clearly either like lying or not telling the full truth on. And there were a lot of times where oompaville could have given more pushback and kind of let topics, you know, lie. And were there better people to do the interview? Absolutely. But that's the reason that Jimmy did the interview with him. Do I believe that he did the best with what he got? As Mariah Carey would say, I'm going to do the best with what I got. Yes. Well, yes. Like, my expectations as well were not that high. I didn't know who oompaville was before this. But Jimmy is going to give the same responses whether or not you give pushback because he's planned his responses, whether or not we want to believe it. So I didn't understand a lot of the criticism that oompaville was getting. I understood some of it, but not all of it. I thought it was a little bit dramatic.
Then edited that video and posted that video, and a lot of people are mad about it. The general overall valid criticism is that I didn't grill him hard enough, and my questions were subpar or corporatized, or I'm not exactly sure. Really, it was just weak. It was a softball, a snowball, whatever people call it. That's the criticism.
That interview is pretty much garbage and does very little to help him, despite being a softball puff piece.
Firstly, I'm not going to make an excuse. This conversation that I had with MrBeast was completely deliberate. This is what I wanted to do. This is the exact same thing that I did with Dawson. I didn't push Dawson in any way. If anything, I feel more responsibility now if Dawson gets sued because I didn't push him and I didn't push back and he kept on sort of spreading things that now are probably, unfortunately, going to cause him some damage in a lawsuit if MrBeast actually does decide to sue him, which I like Dawson a lot, and I don't want that to happen. All things considered with your video on MrBeast, but having digested it as a critically thinking human being over the last couple of days, it appears to be 100% good faith as well. I can confidently say. It does not seem like you want...
Okay, I think that's a really great juxtapose that he brought, which is, the same way he didn't really push back Dawson is the same way he didn't really push back MrBeast, which... when the internet screams not being biased and, giving everyone the same chance and not, he held them to the same standards. He really did hold them to the same standard if we're being technical about it. Okay, but I'm going to take a quick pause because I've got to tell you this exciting news. Hi, Muckers. Happy December. Now, this is the most stressful time of the year. So what better news do I have for you other than to tell you that Adam and Eve are sponsoring today's video and we have an amazing deal. Now, it's even better than our original deal. If you go to adamandeve.com/Adam, they have a list of items. Now, we did this deal last month and they had a bunch of different items. They have completely refreshed it with a bunch new products. If you go to adamandeve.com/Adam, you can choose 4 of the items and you will get them for $20. Now, if you go to my last video in which we were sponsored by this, the amount of people that were saying how much goddamn money they saved, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know how they're making a profit. I don't take that many sponsorships. I really stand behind Adam and Eve. They're over 50 years in the game. A bunch of their proceeds goes to helping fighting the spread of HIV all around the world. They have 90-day no-hassle return if you don't love the stuff. 24/7 customer service. But again, this deal sells itself. adamandeve.com/Adam. You can choose 4 things from a huge list of new items that they have added, and they're all super fun. And if you choose 4 of them, you can get them for $20. Oh my god. Okay, so shout out to Adam and Eve. Again, everyone, it is a very stressful time of the year. So what better reason to go over and have an excuse to buy 4 things for $20 with that URL? And also, this is a time of year when you're buying presents for other people. Have you stopped and thought, maybe this diva right here needs a present? Have we ever considered that? Because maybe we should. So yeah, adamandeve.com/Adam. They have a list of new items. 4 of them you can pick for $20. Adam and Eve, thank you so much for giving me insane sponsorship that really does sell itself. You will be shocked by how much money you will save. You can go over yourself. And you can see. But just go over adamandeve.com/Adam. You can choose 4 items for $20 using my URL. Adam and Eve, I love you. Adam and Eve, I love you. And Muckers, go treat yourself. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Muckers, from Mother Mucker, Santa Claus herself. adamandeve.com/Adam.
To necessarily gain anything from this. You're not a bad actor. You appear to just be honest and
yeah, I mean, we're all monkeys. We will lie if we have to. I mean,
of course.
I just try to be honest, I guess.
But now I have a level of responsibility because I approached the first interview like that. Maybe it emboldened him to say more things that weren't true and believe more people and not fact check things and just start, shoot from the hip. No, it's bad. I apologize.
I love this outfit. Look at this diva.
Intentional. That interview was intentional. And I wanted it to be like that. I tried not to joke too much. My original idea was to have my pistol appendix carried and reveal it to the camera and say, this is for my safety. That's how I wanted to open the interview and do a bunch of bits. Not specifically for MrBeast. I just have bits in my head that I like to do.
Also, if he is, interviewing someone, he doesn't have to change his entire self or way he would normally interview based on the internet's perception or perspective or whatever. Jimmy is choosing him for that reason. You know what I mean? While I do believe there's criticism for things not being pushed back, I don't think it solely lies on oompaville, because that's just him.
Whenever there's a camera, I'm not good at interviewing people, all right? That's really it. That's as shallow as it is. I decided to have a conversation with him. I didn't really have a lot of time to on that, and within the time that I had, that was absolutely 110% my decision. Which, my idea, my philosophy behind it was, I'm gonna let him say what he wants, and this is going to be his form of a response. If he is a hypocrite, and people can prove him to be a hypocrite, then so be it. I just don't have the dog in me, the journalistic integrity dog, the genius guy who can remember things that actually matter dog. I have a different type of dog in me, and it's severely deformed and probably brachycephalic. That's why I have 2 pugs. So yeah, once again, intentional. I didn't mean for it to be bad. I wanted it to hopefully be a meaningful source of information. People could watch the video, see what Mr. Beast had to say, and then they could fact check it themselves or whatever. I didn't intend for this to be the end of the conversation. I didn't go into this with an agenda. I definitely missed a lot of questions, and I definitely didn't push back enough. So I totally get most, like 99.9% of the criticism. Some people are just mean, and I don't like that very much, but you know, I'm reading it. I get it. And it's beneficial to me. So now I'll begin to make excuses for myself or give you a reasoning in which my priorities were different.
I also really like that he made this video. If there's one thing I like about a creator is this like back and forth with an audience and response and stuff. And it's why I really like streaming. It's why I really like kind of the content I make, because I will make follow-ups, and I really, people say they like it when I do it, but I'm like, okay, I understand it now because I really enjoy this.
Different on this day. I released a video.
It shows a level of respect for the audience.
It's so important to me. The team that I work with around that is so important to me. This has been my absolute passion project that I've kept completely under wraps for the last year, along with the candy. Like, these things are so, I just love doing them. I work with my friends. I'm just so incredibly grateful for those things. And it's difficult when we have big events in regard to those things to prioritize YouTube over them. I love YouTube, and I'm insanely grateful once again for my platform, but I would like to use it in, sounds ironic after the, you know, the whole fallout from this. I would like to use it in more meaningful ways and things that get me excited. And to be frank, internet drama doesn't really get me that excited. And there's a bit of poetry. I released a video called I'm Retired.
Abby had a poetry
about the game, and that was meant to
time is subjective, family is relative.
Like I'm a massive narcissist idiot who really loves video games and wants to make some games. I'm not really sure. This is not a publisher relationship. This is no investor. It is just me, my own effort and money, combined with some people I was incredibly fortunate enough to meet who know way more about all this stuff and mentored me and helped me and have made this all a reality for me. But that video was completely true and poetic that the Mr. Beast interview was thrown in my lap the day of. It's like, okay, I'm talking about stepping away from this kind of stuff that I'm having difficulty finding meaning in and being impassioned by. And then the literal biggest YouTube drama scoop opportunity ever presents itself. And I chose to fix my bot, my little Python Discord bot in my gaming server where people, I was in Unity. I spent more time in Unity the day that Mr. Beast came to my house than I did preparing in any meaningful way. I shouldn't be laughing. This is a very serious thing. Now we know the invalid points and everybody's gone through this. I think it's time to look back and laugh. I've learned a lot, honestly, like in terms of conducting interviews. And just as in regard to this, I've researched it more so.
Okay, there we go. That's him admitting to it. He didn't do enough research. He didn't take the time to research it, which was what a lot of people were saying to me, which was it was a last minute thing. And it seems like it was a last minute thing and he didn't necessarily care about it. But again, that is why Jimmy would have chose someone like this that isn't that involved or care about it, because he was able to get more off the hook. Does that make oompaville evil? No. Does that make him morally corrupt? No. He was chosen for that reason, so you can't blame him for being him. I don't even know this man, you know what I mean?
So yeah, game released, I was poetically talking about retiring in a broader, more philosophical sense, and that was so ironic. On the same day in the morning or around noon, I got a text from Jimothy Beast. He said that he might be interested in coming onto my channel, and he talked to his PA for a while. I was like, I gotta restructure the day. They were talking about restructuring their day, and it was so crazy. And I was just like, what is happening right now? This is so weird. I'm about to launch a video game. He said plans might change, not sure. And then a couple hours later called me announcing that he was getting on a flight and would be at my home in 3 hours. North Carolina is about a 3-hour flight, 3.5-hour flight from there to Texas. And I didn't know if he was going to land in DFW and then drive.
Wait, so there we go. Jimmy literally sprung this on him as well. He did it for a reason. Do you think he would go and sit down with fucking Rosanna Pansino? Give her fucking 3 minutes notice and she can drill you. You know what I mean? It was very intentional. Also, that's really crazy to be like, I can come on your channel. I'm on a flight right now.
Drive to me, and it takes a couple hours. I didn't know where he was gonna land. When he landed, it was 15 minutes. He was a 15-minute drive away from where I was, which there's no airports. And I don't know where the he landed. I think he flew a helicopter into a field, or I don't know, dude. Like, I literally don't know what was happening. I didn't have any idea what was happening. It was insane. I'm just a guy. That bitch showed up at 8, all right? A little earlier than I was expecting. I thought he was gonna land at 8 and then drive 2 hours so I'd have a lot of time. I thought we were gonna start the interview at 10. Had my producer John there. He was helping. Producer, you know, he's way more professional, way more talented than I am. But he was helping with like setting up the lights.
If anything, I can't believe he pulled off what he pulled off within 2.5 hours.
I don't know, we were just cleaning my house, literally just cleaning my house. It was so so just oompaville style. It was very oompaville style, very just last minute. I actually considered at one point that this is just not even real, and somebody's been fucking with me and got me to give them my address and is like on their way now to kill me, and it wasn't actually Mr. Beast. That would have been funnier, to be honest. That would have been less of a consequence for me. I love a fight, man. I've any excuse to start blasting.
Why does he always have an obnoxiously large beverage? He had a big one in the last one as well.
Because I genuinely have no regrets. I did feel a sense of embarrassment the next day reading criticism. I'm like, of course, I feel like I shouldn't have done that or whatever, but I have no regrets. I think I approached it in the moment as fairly as I thought I possibly could, which is once again the same thing that I did for Dawson. So no excuses, no regrets. I really appreciate a lot of the meaningful, more constructive criticism. A lot of people have reached out with resources as well for future interviews, which I don't know. The day of, I was like, I'm never doing this shit ever again. I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk to people. This is like way too much pressure. But now I'm like, okay, maybe there is like a lot of actual, genuine, meaningful criticism. People actually care about this type of stuff. I should be pushing harder or be more prepared or rehearse questions. I've never rehearsed anything in my life. All right. Somehow I can play the guitar fairly well, and I've never practiced. Obviously, that's a lie. I have practiced very hard, but it's easy to practice. This is a terrible, terrible bit, so I'm sorry. I apologize. So we got the criticism out of the way, day after, etc. And then why Mr. Beast chose me to do this became question for many people. Became a point of speculation. Was it because I was paid off by Mr. Beast? That's not true. I was never paid to corporatize his questions. I used my questions, by the way. He didn't have a PR team, as far as I could tell there. He had guys in shorts and t-shirts who were really normal. It was very weird. It was very weird. I just asked questions that I thought would be important and then forgot a bunch and literally called him back the next morning and put those questions in as well. They're at the end of the video, so it's also inconvenient.
That was the bit that CoffeeZilla made the video on.
I break up the flow, so I don't know, dude. There was no flow. It was terrible. Yeah, whatever. There was also a surprising amount of talk of Mr. Beast paying me off. There was even a post talking about how Mr. Beast gave me $250,000 a couple years ago.
I saw this as well. My friend sent this to me and was like, are you not going to talk about this? And I was like, I don't know if this is true.
How it was a massive conflict of interest, like where like I'm facilitating or mediating a interrogation of like Vladimir Putin or like like some kind of serial killer or Ted Bundy or something like that. I thought it was Mr. Beast, but okay. Bro's a dork sitting in my living room. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Mr. Beast didn't give me any money, not a single penny. I wish he would have. A company called Creative Juice did a long time ago, but they're no longer involved in my channel in any sense or my businesses or my life in any way. I'm very glad because I didn't really like that relationship. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, and also if he did buy me and there was like a conflict of interest, what about all these videos where I shat all over him and his stupid Lunchly brand talking about lead and his dumbass business partners? Like, what?
This is such an annoying part on doing commentary and covering drama stories, that when you're against someone, right, you have everyone, you know, agreeing with your take and blah, 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 blah. When you make a video, maybe hearing them out or showing their side of the story or even just responding to them saying their side of the story, it's you're getting bought out, you're biased, you're whatever. And I'm like, motherfucker. It happens over and over again. Everyone within the space deals with it, and it is one of the single most frustrating things in the entire world. Truly.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I guess it does make sense if you are really excited by internet drama. Maybe it does make sense, but yeah, to me it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I really wanted
doesn't to me either.
Any of my videos on him while he was sitting in front of me, but I figured people would be like, "Why are you asking me questions about yourself? You're talking about yourself too much. You're talking about yourself too much. Stop talking about yourself. Talk about the victims." Which I think I also didn't do. So yeah, I went easy on Mr. Beast because that's exactly what I did with Dogpack. And in my own mind, my justification or the way that I was speaking to myself was not, I'm gonna go easy on him. You know, I'm gonna go easy on this guy. I'm gonna try to have a conversation and I'm gonna try to stay on topic and I'm gonna try not to look at him too much. I'm gonna try to make the right amount of eye contact. I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't have weird body language. And I'm gonna, you know, a lot of people are gonna see this. I'm gonna try to make sure maybe my lights are not the wrong color. And I'm gonna try to make sure, oh wait, it's hot in here. I'm gonna try to make sure that it's maybe 68 degrees instead of 72 because I feel hot. Is my stomach, I'm gonna make sure that I have a ginger in my pocket. And I'm ready for this. I'm gonna make sure. Ooh, do I sound weird today?
Ginger in your pocket?
I'm getting sick. I think I'm getting sick. Oh, am I getting a migraine? Oh no, I might have to take a nap. I gotta make sure that's real. That's legit. So yeah, pretty much I got weaknesses. I knew that. Seems like a lot of people didn't know that. I'm actually honored by how people's expectations were of my video. I mean, I do the bare minimum. I'm like bare minimum guy. It's kind of what I've been known for a really long time. And like, I'm trying to get into a position where I can do that. I can do better. Guess we'll start next time. So now on to some things that I forgot or didn't push hard enough on that I completely agree is valid criticism. Ava Chris Tyson. Didn't push hard enough on Ava Chris Tyson. That is really weird. The reason I didn't push hard on it, by the way, which doesn't make as much sense now, but at the time made perfect sense. I thought that his addressing it via Twitter, I thought it would be more important for me to focus on other things that hadn't yet been addressed because it's the first time Mr. Beast is talking publicly. But that is like one minute, small way to look at it. I definitely should have pushed back more on Ava Tyson or asked more about it, but I didn't have the preparation to handle my own there. I didn't have the receipts. After Ava, I've got to say the crypto stuff. I called Coffee the next morning. I was like, what are some more questions I could ask? I need to ask Mr. Beast some more shit. I forgot to ask about the Shadman thing, which I felt was appropriate to ask. I did ask about that at the very end. I saw a lot of people say that I didn't at all, but they just didn't watch the entire video.
Oh, but we watched it. We locked in.
So Crypto, Ava as well, associating himself with Logan Paul, that was one I was kind of punching myself in the face with, because I've made a lot of videos on Logan Paul. I am not a fan of Logan Paul, and I think he's a massive scumbag, and I think that speaks to, you know, someone with who they surround themselves with. I kind of get surrounding yourself with people who are maybe apolitically, you know, it's justifiable, but Logan Paul is absolutely a piece of shit. Yeah. So that definitely needs some clarification. I feel like he's a piece of shit.
And shout out to everyone that locked in when we went and rewatched all of the CoffeeZilla Logan Paul situation. I posted a big 3-hour deep dive into it, and oh my god, I locked in.
People get mad that I'm a flip-flopper as well. I'm just trying to understand and be like compassionate, because my mind is always so naturally set on things, and I'm very stubborn. And I've learned over the last couple of years to not be so stubborn, not so much of an iconoclast. I used to be a lunatic rager, just like, you're a dummy, yeah. And then now I'm just like, I want to look at trees for a really long period of time and see what they mean.
Okay, Diva.
It's so stupid, but it's true, dude. There's something wrong with me. I don't like Logan Paul, dude, and especially the whole Lunchley thing, defending it with lead. I did bring that up, but I didn't, you know, I didn't push. I should have pushed, definitely. That's probably, if I did have a major regret for the whole interview as a whole, I'd say that's it. Not talking more about Logan Paul. I also missed the online slot machines or getting kids to gamble in regard to Feastables. Also forgot to ask why Delaware had a mask on in a video. Mr. Beast, I think, addressed that with another commentary YouTuber, and his excuse there was that there were videos in which he didn't have a mask on, so I don't really know. He kept him around hiding his face. I really do not know a lot about that one, but I felt that his response to that made sense to me. I mean, if you give him the benefit of the doubt, it's just like a young dumbass guy. I mean, I've made this shitty video. Obviously, I would like to think that I wouldn't make the exact same mistake, but I don't know. And then the Antichrist allegations. Curious. You swear on the Bible, but you didn't know about the Antichrist? Curious. I don't know if Mr. Beast is a demon, but I lied about all the him flying in on a private jet stuff. I actually had a pentagram in the corner of the room, a circle, a salt circle, for a while. That's how he spawned and he went, he like fucking came up out, it was red and stuff. It was like a hole and there was like red clouds. And then he had like a bunch of Feastables and stuff. And then I accidentally tripped and stumbled and I knocked the salt out and he got it. He escaped. I accessed a portal to Greenville, North Carolina through the Necronomicon. Basically what I'm saying. Now on to some more specific criticism, guys, on Reddit. I love Reddit. I'm a big fan of Reddit. And I read criticism, okay? I don't say schizo now because I saw someone that was upset that I said schizo and their reason was good enough for me to decide to not say schizo or to try to say it less. All right, guys. It was a schizophrenic person who was, and I found that on Reddit. And I feel like that was a good thing I learned, where I learned to be more kind about something. But I don't know. Maybe I'm a dumbass. Maybe these people just hate me. I don't know. Maybe these are just haters. There was lots of coverage on my interview on Reddit, and there's a lot of criticism to go over. It was mostly people saying that I don't take the interview seriously because, look at this. Look at this. I thought it'd be funny to respond to people being really mad at me with just a picture of me looking old. I thought that was funny, and a lot of people seemed like they didn't like it. This guy forgave me. I didn't want to be forgiven. He got downvoted.
That's always the way. If someone defends you on Reddit, they get downvoted to fuck.
What do you guys want me to say?
Some muckers have been there, and if you're in the trenches, I love you.
That's what I want to say. Yeah, okay. So yeah, maybe I was a little silly at first. I apologize. I'm a silly guy. Silly, goofy guy. I should have been more silly in the interview. I also regret that. Maybe I do have a lot of regrets about this. So I was silly off the bat. That is absolutely proven. But there are things to take seriously, that I do take seriously, that are important to me in regard to the situation. Not the criticism, but going into it and just in general. I do believe that it's very important to give both sides of any situation a platform or even a platform or opportunity to feel comfortable in talking openly. Obviously, that doesn't exactly affect Mr. Beast, because if he really wanted to control the narrative and really feel comfortable talking openly, he could have just posted on one of his mini channels, to be honest, and then he would have been able to, you know, put $1 million into fucking a video, the most ultimate disapproval video of all time, but for some reason he chose. So I thought that was important, though. I do think that is still important. I also don't necessarily think that it's important to identify who the bad guy is. I don't think things are that simple. It's good to know things, and it's good to have context and be able to make your own decisions, but I didn't try to be like, well, this is the bad guy, you know, let's talk to the bad guy and let's see really how bad he actually is. I don't think being super black and white is that responsible. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I should be. I really don't know. But I like the idea of trying to be compassionate and like understanding and open to all sides. Like, I'm not pro Mr. Beast now. Like, I don't know why. I've made way more negative shit than I've made. I made one interview and there's like a whole...
It's always the way. It's always the way. Like this fucking point that I said earlier. And it really is frustrating. And I don't know whether people just maybe see that one video in which you're telling the other side of the story or hearing the other side of the story where they say that you're so biased or you're on the wrong side of history. And it's like, no, like I'm covering news stories and I'm trying to give you news stories even from the person that you seemingly hate, just so you know what is going on right now. So I very much so sympathize with this.
Which I didn't. B, he owns me or something. And then C, like I fucking gave him a puff piece, but I didn't feel like it was a puff piece. Was it really a puff piece? I don't know about that. Also, another really important thing for me, getting as many clicks and views as possible. And making as much money as I possibly can off it. That's why there were so many Sour Boys ads. I released a fucking video game the day of. I should have promoted that shit. I should have been shameless. Another regret. Once again on Reddit, there was more criticism in regard to the Creative Juice investment. Yeah, so the whole interview is a conflict of interest. No, it's not. It's not actually a conflict of interest in any way. Well, that's a massive conflict of interest right there. This should have been disclosed at the start of the interview. Imagine if I would have disclosed that at the start of the interview. Like, that is so meaningless, so small and meaningless to me. Like, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of it in any way. Nor have I ever thought of it as like, oh, thank you so much, Mr. Beast, for helping me. Oh my God, thank you so much. I thought, this fucking predatory fintech company is offering to give me money. How can I not hang myself with this rope and rickety stool they just fucking sat in front of me? That's what I was thinking. Jesus. And also, what about all the shitting on him I did as well? Guys, come on. This is the only criticism where I was like, ah. I have a question for Oompa. If he's still here, you just sold a portion of your channel again to fund your gaming studio. Who did you sell to this time? Maybe tag him to be sure he sees this. I sold my channel, a portion of my channel this time to Spotter at a substantially better deal. Literally, there's a reason Spotter's been in business for a lot longer and they've bought a bunch of creators' back catalogs. I wouldn't be surprised if they bought Mr. Beast's back catalog. As far as I know, oh my God, as far as I know, they're not owned by Mr. Beast.
I didn't know that there's companies that buy a YouTuber backlog. Anyone want my shit? Anyone want this shit on here? No. Silence. As silence has entered the marketplace. Could you imagine me being like, first bid offer wins. Babe, some chewing gum and maybe a vape I would win for my fucking back catalog. Not much substance here.
Own Spotter. No, Mr. Beast does not own, but he's a partner with the company. Bruh. Is considered a representative of the value of long-form content in Spotter. Oh, he's part of Spotter's portfolio. Oh, thank God. Okay, so they invested in him. Jesus fuck. Oh my God. Spotter is awesome. They've never given me any feedback about any of my content ever. They don't give a fuck about my content. They use my channel as collateral, and I used their investment to fund my game and fund my candy company and just build the best possible business that I could out of principle, right? Out of principle. We're doing some cool shit, by the way. We're doing some cool shit. Spotter, I don't even want to talk about them in this video because I feel like they're going to get some shit because of this. I apologize. They don't have any control over anything that I say. Nobody does. I promise. If I fuck up, it's on me. It's on me. It has nothing to do with them. We know how you got a bulk of your money to start your company. It was not through hard work and dedication. It was from a handout. Now you're just another shill backing someone that is shady as fuck. You being a scumbag wasn't on my bingo card for 2024. Oh, Caleb, you could have done at least a couple minutes of research and been prepared. Yeah, you just didn't. I don't get why dumb people get famous anymore. Okay, the last part's true, and I agree. But the first part's completely false. It was not a handout. If you call a borderline usurious loan in the form of an investment a handout, then we have drastically different definitions of the word handout. So that's just unequivocally false in every single way, demonstrably false. Also, I didn't back Mr. Beast. I still think he has a lot to answer for. I don't, once again, my agenda was not to end this entire conversation. It was to give him a platform and let him speak in a form of a conversation the exact same way that I did with Dawson. And as for being a scumbag, I don't think I'm a scumbag. I try really...
Also, I may be completely left field here, but I've been covering the Mr. Beast thing. I don't think his interview was that bad. I think it was very apparent that he wasn't the best person to be doing it, but that, like, Mr. Beast is, if it's not going to be oompaville, Mr. Beast will choose someone else that won't fucking, you know, drill him 10 times on the same question or something like that. He also gave him, like, 3 hours notice. Come on, Jesus. And for me to be positive right now, like, I'm normally a negative person. Maybe y'all need to look inwards. If you're fuming right now, look inwards a little bit, babe.
And then in regard to hard work and dedication, I absolutely am a hard worker, and I am completely dedicated to living the fullest life I possibly can. So that's just all that's wrong, first part. Except for maybe being a scumbag. With the definition of handout, I think their definition of scumbag might be sort of confusing. People are also critical of me not picking a side. They say that I swap sides depending upon the direction of public opinion and which way people are leaning with.
But he interviewed both Dawson and Mr. Beast that I believe that he doesn't necessarily need to take a point of view. He just needs to let the person speak. In my opinion.
I go with the flow, right? I'm you know, trying to appeal to the most people as I possibly can. I have a difficult time with conviction or principle. In my entire life, this is where all of this criticism has stemmed from, is my lack of conviction in regard to internet drama and politics. So those two things, which, like, you know, I don't know. Ugh, what a mess. Dude needs to pick a side. I thought he'd chosen Beast, but now he's seen the backlash. He's for the people. Dragging Mr. Beast on Reddit. For the people. To be honest, most of the response, it was like
for the people is crazy.
I think, like to dislike on the interview. I thought it was going to be closer to 80, in all honesty. I thought it would just be a very controversial thing. You know, I didn't intend to get the criticism that I got, but I knew that it would be very controversial. I knew that a lot of people were going to be upset. I wasn't sure who exactly where, but I didn't try to set out with the agenda to pick a side in this. I didn't choose Mr. Beast. I've made a lot of videos negatively about Mr. Beast. I platformed Dawson once again. Same thing. I tried not to pick a side. I wanted to hear what people said, and if they could provide evidence for what they're saying, then, you know, that can be a meaningful source of information. I'm a YouTuber though, so it's like, I'm not, you know, I don't really like how Oompa playing this either. I'm sorry. I'm learning. You know, I don't have a PR guy. It's just me. There's also a bunch of TikToks.
Mr. Beast update and people are shocked.
Mr. Beast looks hella fake during this. I saw a lot of that he looked fake, that he's like a Chad and he looked fake. He looked weirder than I thought he would in real life. Like, he just had a weird vibe to him. Just like a really...
He had that leg up. Pussy to the wind. Pussy to the wind. You know that meme where it's like the green thing and it's like confident. Pussy to the world. And then it's like... and red X and it's like cock shame. Does anyone know that meme? If you do, it's very niche online. That was Mr. Beast. There was just pussy to the world. Legs were open during that interview. I was like, wowza! There was no shame, honey. Who is texting me? I do not know. It's a lot of notifications. Surprisingly, I'm so popular. Somehow my grip chat has become unmuted, and I thought that many people wanted to message me, but they're just all talking amongst themselves.
Rich guy, like a really famous rich. He floated as well. It was so strange. He levitated over to my chair. And then when he got up, there was like melted Feastables in the middle, like where his butt was. So weird. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on TikTok, many with excellent points and great...
I love when people still call it Twitter.
Over the video as if I was not involved in it, and I will give you guys my commentary mindset opinion when actually looking at my computer, when being prepared for a video, when having days to think about a situation. I will tell you exactly what I'd be thinking. I will now begin a critique of my own video. If you want to see actual good critiques of this video, this large interview, check out CoffeeZilla's second channel, Voidzilla. Upper Echelon did a video, amongst others. There's quite a few people who covered this in a very fair, very reasonable way and gave, literally everybody gave the exact same criticism. So, you know, I get the point. I understand it, okay? This guy's house looks weirdly like mine. Same Bibles. In all honesty, I was thinking at this point when Mr. Beast touched the Bible that he would burst into flames. So now at this point, I'm more convinced that he could be a human than I thought. How the f can some wet food criticize a f***ing YouTube dude? Dude, last time I checked, nobody liked their cereal soggy anyways. This one's funny. Weird. Did you catch that? Run that in reverse, editors. Mr. Beast said on camera, on the record, that he's not the Antichrist, but a small ghost orb flew past my screen.
Proving that I wasn't evil or, you know, contrarian to what everyone was saying.
Yeah, I don't want to say this could be demonic in nature, but holy f, we're gonna need to get Sam and Colby on this bad boy here.
I want to take the video down because then people are gonna think I'm controlled opposition. I was like, whoa. And then also,
fuck, there's a lot of ghost orbs in this house. I mean, this guy's house must be fucking haunted. It was a bug. There was a bug in my room. There was literally a bug. It was flying all over the place, and it was a little small bug, and it was pissing me off, and I really was mad at it. Now on to the question.
People do that with my second channel all the time. Like actually Dust will go in the camera, and they'll be like, a ghost! A ghost!
Or 1 minute and 39 seconds. Are you gonna sue Dogpack? Interviewer / host leans back in chair. Are you gonna sue Dogpack?
well, you know, there's tons of examples of him intentionally
just pussy to the world.
not be true and posting.
Close those legs.
I think he's definitely going to sue Dogpack. Genuinely, back to reality, guys. Snap back to reality. I'm done being silly for now for a moment. I don't think that he should sue Dogpack. I tried to make that clear without literally saying, I don't think you should sue Dogpack. You know, I was trying to see what he would say. I was trying to kind of open up a door there potentially to get him to think more about this specifically, other than something that maybe someone would have already asked him about. Are you going to sue Dogpack? I don't think you should sue Dogpack. I don't think Mr. B should sue Dogpack. I think that is bad for journalism. Not that I know a lot about journalism. Mr. Beast has a lot to gain from all this, and if Dogpack just made a video apologizing and acknowledging the stuff that he got wrong.
But the fact that he hasn't and his original videos are still up,
And then held also, by the way, Mr. Beast to the valid criticisms. I think that this would be the best way for them to end this feud.
Dogpack isn't deleting the video.
Best way for him to do this. So for everybody saying Mr. Beast chose me because it was the easiest layup, the easiest dub, it absolutely is not. The best one is for him to have a conversation with Dogpack. This should have happened months ago. And also put a video up on his channel. He should have done that as well and just gone through, if he could prove all this stuff wrong, he should have done it using his resources in a way that no one could touch.
But he'll never do it because the mainstream media do not give a shit. So he's not going to make a video that more people than just the people that care about the online world stuff are going to watch. Therefore, they're opening their eyes to, like, you know, criticism and stuff like that. So he's never going to do that. We see this with YouTubers all the time where they just don't want to bring attention to it, which is why a lot of YouTubers will put apologies on, like, second channels. Hello, Colleen. You know what I mean? But was still your most viewed video.
It's this massive cover-up or this big thing. It just seems bad. Just seems bad to me, you know, given all the criticism. Who should I interview next? I actually have a really cool interview in December that I'm very excited about. That, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming. And I feel like the
Rosanna Pansino
applies to some of the cool stuff that I planned on doing after my video game launched, which is dumb. Maybe I should have planned on being more awesome on YouTube before that. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate.
All right, I want to see what the comments are like on this one. Mr. Beast should ask Biden for a pardon. Bro didn't address the biggest criticism of the interview. Mr. Beast putting his foot on Oompa's table the entire interview. Wow. The thing is, a lot of people won't do an interview if they know they're about to be grilled or given hard questions, so it was either this or likely nothing. I'm honestly amazed Mr. Beast did this. Well, I'm not really amazed, but I understand why he did it. Wow. Okay, well, we will leave it there. I mean, again, I believe that with the resources he had, the time he had, it was maybe not the greatest job he could have done, but it was a good job that he could have done. I feel that a lot of the criticism that he's getting is blown out of proportion and is people taking their anger from Jimmy out on oompaville, which I don't think is fair. I appreciate his willingness to listen to feedback. I think it's a really admirable trait. I was really excited to watch this video. Please let me know your opinion on his initial interview. Am I blowing it out of proportion of, like, not seeing the mainstream media's, like, take on this? Let me know. We'll talk about it down below. I appreciate you being here, and goodbye, everyone. Hi, Muckers. Happy December. Now, this is the most stressful time of the year. So what better news do I have for you other than to tell you that Adam and Eve are sponsoring today's video and we have an amazing deal. Now, it's even better than our original deal. If you go to adamandeve.com/Adam, they have a list of items. Now, we did this deal last month and they had a bunch of different items. They have completely refreshed it with a bunch new products. If you go to adamandeve.com/Adam, you can choose 4 of the items and you will get them for $20. Now, if you go to my last video in which we were sponsored by this, the amount of people that were saying how much goddamn money they saved, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know how they're making a profit. You know I don't take that many sponsorships. I really stand behind Adam and Eve. They're over 50 years in the game. A bunch of their proceeds goes to helping fighting the spread of HIV all around the world. They have 90-day no-hassle return if you don't love the stuff. 24/7 customer service. But again, this deal, like, sells itself. adamandeve.com/Adam. You can choose 4 things from a huge list of new items that they have added, and they're all super fun. And if you choose 4 of them, you can get them for $20. Oh my god. Okay, so shout out to Adam and Eve. Again, everyone, it is a very stressful time of the year. So what better reason to go over and have an excuse to buy 4 things for $20 with that URL? And also, this is a time of year when you're buying presents for other people. Have you stopped and thought, maybe this diva right here needs a present? Have we ever considered that? Because maybe we should. So yeah, adamandeve.com/Adam. They have a list of new items. 4 of them you can pick for $20. Adam and Eve, thank you so much for giving me a insane sponsorship that really does sell itself. You will be shocked by how much money you will save. You can go over yourself, and you can see, but just go over adamandeve.com/Adam. You can choose 4 items for $20 using my URL. Adam and Eve, I love you. Adam and Eve, I love you. And Muckers, go treat yourself, and Merry Christmas.